All right, cool.
And we're live.
Hopefully we've solved all our glitches. And on the off chance that we have in fact solved them, you're listening to Insert Quest here, and I'm Raymond. Today's quest is Base Raiders. This is our final arc for Base Raiders. This is Heat 6. Our players are going to be going to the moon, but first they've got to start all their prep work and find out exactly what it is they're going to be doing on the moon. So let's introduce ourselves, starting with our host for today.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ryan. You might recognize me from such podcasts as Ragnarok, which you should all totally
You mean
be
this
listening.
one?
Yeah. Indeed, this very podcast that you're listening to right now. Today I'm going to be playing Amriel, who is a demon who was summoned from hell by an evil sorceress before Ragnarok. The sorceress disappeared with all the heroes and villains, leaving Amriel a free agent. She became a base raider, professional base raider, and she now spends her time hanging out with the other two characters who you will meet forthwith.
Forthwith, nice $5 word. Hey, everybody, I am Alex. You might know me from the Ragnarok podcast as well. And today I shall be playing the sentient gas cloud known as Greg. He is an alien sent from his planet to Earth to establish relations / maybe see if it's ripe for conquering. But by the time he got here, he found out that his race had been enslaved, and so he is base raiding to get technology and stuff to build a super badass spaceship so he can fly back home and save his people from being used as Zeppelin fuel.
And I'm Finn, and I'm playing Yuri, the former Rally Raid racer, now ghost body possessor, and generally conflicted guy.
Sweet.
So I have a question about the last game, or the last run. Who won?
It's a really tough question. And there's been a bit of debate about that. Unanimously, though, it is agreed that the Valkyries lost.
Okay, that's good enough.
In fact, they will not.
We can all agree that that's a win.
Yeah.
In fact, they are so injured that they are not going to be competing in Heat 6.
No Valkyries on the moon?
No, there will be no Valkyries on the moon, and they will not be carrying harpoons.
It's going to be a chill run.
Well, yeah, you hope. It puts a bit of
like a road trip.
It puts a bit of a downer
Moon
on
road trip.
considering the tight friendship you'd formed with the other two competing teams. The fact that you're just going to be competing against them, makes that competitive spirit a bit weird.
So, follow-up question: we have been dominating this series so far, right?
Yes, and you've got shit tons of advance and refresh and shit to spend.
Well, yes, that. But so standing-wise, we're probably many points ahead of second place, right?
Yeah. Well, okay. So the points are made up and don't really matter. The thing that determines whether you win, the main determining factor is that the more races you win, in theory, the better equipped you're going to be to perform the last race, because you've got more super shit that you've stolen.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Right?
So really, it's all about the moon.
Really, it's all about the moon. Whoever wins here gets the whole purse of marbles, so to speak. Which really is a trophy. It's not like there's prize money or anything, because you've all been getting paid this whole way. Like,
yeah.
There might be some lucrative sponsorship deals or whatever.
Oh, yes. And so how are they divvying up the monetary gains of the Hollow Earth?
Pretty much everything that you brought back with you. So there's nothing. It was pretty much a scavenger situation. Whatever you managed to find. There's not a lot of immediate valuables in the Hollow Earth. It's more like shit you can develop. I mean, your main score is apparently you're going to start a whole food crop. And I believe there was some talk of making a nuclear-powered car. Well, an Angel Heart powered car, which is pretty
so
much the same
we
thing.
get to keep the Angel Heart? I thought Scout Team 1 wanted it.
Well, they did. They wanted it brought back, but they thought that it was going to be like an actual battery.
Oh.
And Scout Team 1 doesn't really do that arcane stuff, so they're just like, oh, well, I mean, you did the job. We're kind of hoping it was a
Gotcha.
like
All right. So we get to keep it.
Secret Soviet bomb or something.
They didn't realize it was radioactive in every possible way imaginable.
Yeah, nor did they realize it. They don't really want to deal with should that angel wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we have no such quandaries.
Nope.
Right.
Yeah, you've got a demon. You'll be fine.
Okay. Those were my questions.
So if the angel does wake up, it'll go from me, and you guys can handily escape.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to be fastest. You just have to be faster than the demon.
I'm an angel heart technician. If you see me running, try to keep up. I'm sure there is a raider, base raiding bootlegger working on that T-shirt as we speak. Whole sweatshop set up across the Midwest.
So if the other team members don't mind, I was about to call myself Gary. Greg.
Everybody's
I've been
having
playing for like
alternate
15
universe
games.
leads.
Greg would very much like to install that Angel Heart as a power source for his spaceship. Our spaceship, which will, I assume,
All
take
right,
us to
because
the
you guys
moon.
were talking about
Mhm,
saying
mhm.
fuck it to taking the Datsun.
We're
and
taking
just
a
going-
space to the moon.
No,
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 we're taking
no,
the Datsun.
We're taking the
We're
Datsun
just not-
in the spaceship.
Yeah, but you're
Yeah,
going to take the
just not in a
spaceship as
teleporter.
your main vessel, is the point.
Yeah,
Right.
and the Datsun's our rover.
Yeah. I mean,
So
that's
Greg will install the Angel Heart as the heart of the ship.
So you've been working on the ship for a while now.
Yeah.
What is the overall shape and aesthetics of the ship gonna be?
Greg doesn't care. So I think it's just staying UFO shaped.
May
I
I
assume
make
that's
a
what it
suggestion?
was, right?
Yeah, it was kind of a UFO/factory aesthetic.
Okay.
May I make a suggestion?
Of course.
Lose all the swastikas.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's an idea.
Yeah. I read though that they mean good luck on parts of the Earth.
Not anymore.
Yeah, no. Basically, it's been scrubbed, but
Well, I imagine a lot of the outer paneling was just like cut straight off.
Yeah.
Because most of it was wrecked anyway. So it needs to be reskinned. It needs to have like 3 engines installed on it because those are how many were like completely bust.
Yes. Greg's been working on getting it space worthy first, and then worrying about interstellar travel. Because if it can't make it to the moon, it's probably not going to make it to another
I believe
planet.
your current FTL plan is to lower its relative mass
Yes.
to the point where it's so light that you can like accelerate it as if it was a scrap of paint strapped to a nuclear warhead.
Something like that. So Greg is still working on designing that, but the Angel Heart should provide a very nice power source.
Yeah. All right, so that's something to do.
Yep.
Um,
And I have tons of skill points to spend on this thing.
you all have shit tons of skill points to spend. So we're
I
gonna
have 20 plus whatever we got from the last run.
Oh yeah, shit. Probably another 10.
Okay.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, why
Oh
not?
boy. And
All right.
we got another refresh for completing an arc.
Sure. Sounds about right. What is
All
this
right.
game?
So I'm up to 7 fate points and 30 skill points, just saying.
Look, we'll use the rules where they're convenient for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm playing fast.
Otherwise-
and loose.
I must
But
have
tell you
missed-
what, I don't really have any interest in spending these skill points.
Yeah, I really don't.
It's a
I
lot.
don't
just-
want to
no,
deal
I-
with power interactions, you know?
Just buy some
Yeah.
powers from the book. Some pre-built powers.
No, I'm just
But
gonna.
then you have to do
I'm
power interaction.
Just buy them ones that have the same theme as yours.
I'm just dumping
just-
30 skill points into the spaceship.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't
Go
get
for
more.
it.
I'm going to spend 27 skill points on re-establishing my family ties.
That's good.
I mean, technically, I think the miscability rules only come into play if you don't have the skill points to buy off the new power that you
Oh, they do.
acquire.
Yeah.
I still don't want to
Because
look at it there.
Because if you're buying them, you're just paying it off. It's when you acquire them in session, and it's like, oh, it
Okay.
burns or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Personal goals all the way, thank you.
Yep, just drop it all into personal goals, so you don't have
It's-
to deal with it.
It's been a very character-driven game. I don't see why we should stop now.
Just buy
Yep.
some boost patches and be done with it.
Let's shoot up and go to the moon.
Woo!
Yeah. So Greg has spent. We've had this thing for like 3 sessions, like 3 runs now. So Greg has been spending the in-between time, like repairing the hull and fixing the engines, and
Well,
Now he has a big old battery
the
for it.
last month of downtime before Hollow Earth was working on the FTL shit. So
Yeah.
but
and didn't
by
we say
all
there's
means,
like a crew working here too?
yeah, the what's the name of that fucking TKS have a team here that are like analyzing the engines and the anti-grav stuff because they want to make anti-grav cars. And in exchange for that, they're helping you like fix all the shitty superstructure that's deteriorated from sitting underground in France and all that fun stuff.
So I would hope that by the end of this month, it could at least get us to the moon in one piece.
Yeah, indeed. You hope.
Yeah.
You hope.
That's as good as we can get.
Fingers
Yep.
crossed.
Hope away. Fill it up with buckets of hope. Now, let's get down to business and defeat some Huns. Things that you know about the moon race. It takes place on the moon.
Ooh. Okay. Good point.
What other research have you done? You know that you're probably going to be teleported there.
We're not.
Oh no, you're not now. Does anyone?
Well, wait, are they going
any-
to teleport? Was
No.
the plan to teleport us straight to the base, or to just teleport us to a
No,
point
teleport
on the moon?
teleport you to an interesting spot on the moon, and then have you try and drive to the base.
Gotcha.
What does anyone remember? Any other offhand facts that I have given about this?
I feel like anytime we mention the moon, you don't give us facts. You just say how we didn't spend time researching the moon race.
That's normally what I do because you don't normally devote any time to researching it. You had 5 adventures to try and research it.
Well, it's not like we weren't doing other things.
Indeed, you chose to spend your
we
time
had pressing
on
issues.
other pursuits, which is fine. There's no right or wrong choice, but that doesn't change the fact that you are left here with only whatever you guys can remember.
Hey, be nice, or Ryan will mute you.
That's true. Ryan could never send me the recording of this stream. That'd be great.
Hold that one.
Oh, Ryan's supposed to be recording it? Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, shoot.
Oops.
Yeah, I guess. So we know nothing about the moon base.
Well,
it's on the moon.
Can any of you remember anything else I've said offhand about it?
No, not really, to be honest.
All right. So,
Nope.
in which case, we get to a base investigation. You guys have to try and find out information about what the fuck is on the moon. So you're going to have to try and look at people you can talk to from across the across your time, from across the campaign. Anyone you can get in contact with. You can try and talk to that AI that you freed. They might know
security.
something. Yeah, security is somewhere doing something. I believe there was some talk of, we'll find a nice home for security. And then I have a feeling she works in a bank, but that
I'm pretty sure we got her a job.
I think you got her a job. I can't remember what it was.
I think it was security or something. That sounds
Yeah.
about right.
I'm going to start by researching moon base.
The moon.
The moon.
All right.
I'm just going to Google moon. No.
You know
Uh,
what does your actual Google search look like? Do you just type in the moon?
no.
Moon.
Ideal.
What up?
Ideal
Question mark.
base.
Ideal moon bases. All right.
Gives you
Sure,
a bunch of schematics being like, to make the ideal moon base.
Make a research roll. You wanna
Plus,
So you've got moon base plus ideal. Do you have negative anything? Like say negative NASA, so that you don't just get
yes.
results.
Yes, minus NASA.
All
Either way, I'm at +6, so I think I did pretty well.
right, so
Greg is
you
the Boolean master.
you have to go to page 2.
Wow.
You get a lot of ESA
Very.
results, and the Chinese Space Agency, which I can't remember the acronym for, Glorious People's Space Agency, probably.
That's about right.
However, you do find a BuzzFeed article.
And the National Space Administration.
There you go.
I just
Top
sorry.
10 forgotten ideal bases. Apparently, it's by some guest blogger who has a YouTube channel about breaking into like they have like it's kind of like counting coup on the front door of a base. So like they don't go into the base.
It's not
They're
by the guy who runs Insert Race here.
No, it's not by Richmond. Or the people that run the Ragnarok podcast that talks about the events of Ragnarok, even 5 years after the fact. Yeah, so it's like a counting coup kind of thing. They go up and they just touch the front door, and then they don't go in because they don't have fucking superpowers and they don't have a death wish. And so they talk about one in the Pacific on like a deserted island. They talk about one up in the Himalayas apparently. One apparently there's a base hidden under Edinburgh Castle. There's the secret base hidden inside the rebuilt Washington Monument. And then there's some talk about like the last one on the list is like the fabled moon base, and it talks about how after the second Apollo mission, NASA stopped visiting the moon because they were just sending astronauts. They stopped sending rockets to the moon because they were just sending astronauts, apparently, through a secret government portal built in conjunction with the Ideal. Yada yada yada. It's a lot more. What is the word I'm looking for? It's a lot of hearsay and conspiracy talk, more so than the other entries. Like, it doesn't have any photos from it. This person hasn't actually visited it.
Well, I mean, it's on the moon.
It is, in fact, on the moon.
Any hint about where or who it might have belonged to?
Where? On the moon.
Oh, okay.
Who it belonged to? The American government and the Ideal, of one of their few joint ventures. So they didn't exactly see eye to eye.
Okay, so it's owned by the government and the Ideal. In that case, let me just double check my skill list here. Can I make a... Ooh, my computers is at +1. Can I make a computers check to try to hack the information out of the government?
Sure. Let's make this an opposed roll.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have to be computers, right?
It would have to be computers.
Yeah, okay. Well, fingers crossed, boys. I rolled 4 blanks.
Yeah.
Which puts you at?
+1. And I'm going to invoke my smartest cloud in the room to put me at +3.
Well, you beat my +2.
Oof.
So, from what government agency do you try to get this information?
Probably NASA, because it's on the moon.
All right. So you hack some NASA server and get like reams and reams and reams of data about the moon, about its geological composition, about insertion trajectories and things like that. A lot of math to sift through.
That's okay. Greg is super smart.
And as you're sifting through this over the next few days, you do find a few references to timed teletransmission windows and accurate transcription procedure, which seems to be talking about some kind of teleportation system. But all this stuff comes from like the late 60s and the 70s and things like that. So it's a lot of out of date terminology and equipment, and it doesn't much make any sense to you, especially considering that most of the modern teleportation shit you know of uses, well, all the Ideal stuff uses point-to-point teleportation, whereas this seems to be talking about like point your energy beam at a spot and try to hit it and get your object to arrive there.
Is it a specific location?
It looks to be several locations, but they are within 300 kilometers of one another on the moon.
Well, that narrows it down a little bit. I will relay this.
Seem to be near the terminus of the moon.
Oh, okay. Near side or far side, or both?
Well, it's they all seem to be talking about locations that are near where when you can see the moon in the evening, right near the edge of the Earth-facing side during the evening of a full moon.
Okay. Okay. I will relay this information to my teammates and say it's possible that there's a small 300-kilometer area that we could be looking at. Perhaps one of you or both of you could try to talk to contacts. I'm not having much luck with research.
Now, the Scout Team 1 did promise you some information on the base, but they haven't revealed that to you yet.
Can we go ask them for it?
You could. You could call them
Feels
up.
like it might be useful to get that first.
Mm-hmm.
As a
Sure.
basis of information. I'll give them a ring.
All right.
And Yuri
After some...
pulls
after
out his
going
flip
through-
phone. Boop, 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 boop.
After going through some management and whatnot, you eventually get a hold of them. And you hear one of the Scout Team guys like, Yuri, what can we do for you? Just working out some of the details for a new
Sure.
new ad campaign.
Fab.
Mm.
You guys owed us a bit of intel on the moon. We were just looking to see what we could get. Just trying to do our little do our duty of being informed about the next race. You know, gotta prep.
You thought you might start your prep earlier this time, rather than leaving it till you arrive at the
Until
starting
never.
line.
Exactly. Yes. Look,
Yeah, of course.
we're nothing if not adaptable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a few details we could share with you. But the one thing that we did wanted to let you guys know about is that there's a lot of... You're going to be dodging more than craters out there. There's a lot of debris. You'll be entering a debris field. That's up there, hidden in the darkness.
On the moon or on the way to the moon?
No, on the moon. Yeah.
Right. All right.
As to what that
It's a bumpy ride.
as to what that debris field is, I leave you guys to find that out. But I will tell you this: it is primarily metal.
All right. Handy. Anything else you can tell us?
Probably, but that's all you're getting at the moment.
All right. Well, have fun with your ad.
Still trying to pick out a name for this, new lunar Raiderade drink.
Moonshot.
Maybe. Maybe we could do something with werewolves. I don't know. Anyway.
Busy
Have
side of the
fun.
moon. Passiona Floyd.
Passiona Floyd. Jesus Christ.
Just spitballing here. No bad ideas, say Scout One.
No bad ideas. All right. Talk to you crazy kids later.
All right.
Nicole goes dead.
You could have a dual range. You could have a light side and a dark side. Moon edition.
Yeah, you could have light side, dark side, moon drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Mix them together for new flavors.
Yeah. You combine them for the eclipse.
Raiderade Eclipse.
They have to chemically react violently when combined.
Eclipse flavors.
I send my notes onto the Raiderade marketing team.
You send an email.
Hey guys, just a few ideas. Just spitballing. No
Just
bad
some
ideas.
Crazy drink ideas.
Take them or leave them. Count them as free.
Do
Whatever
what
they-
you will.
Whatever they do, the ad should just be Sam Rockwell and Kevin Spacey reprising their roles from Moon, and then they're doing a scene, and it just breaks into an ad for Raiderade.
Yeah, they're just
I
doing a
don't
scene
know.
of both
I don't know
drinking.
if Sam Rockwell and Kevin Spacey exist in Base Raiders or not. They might be unique features of our Earth.
Goodness.
That would be a true shame.
Man, we're freaking special.
I know, right? We get to have Kevin Spacey and Sam Rockwell.
But with a name like Kevin Spacey, how can you not exist
Well,
in
I mean,
Base
he
Raiders?
is from K-Pax, so...
Yuri sends these notes off to Raiderade, and then thinks, actually, and I'm not in my suit, so I go in, my suit's sitting in a comfy armchair. I always give him good seats available.
You should build, like, a fucking storage
Usually in,
tank
like, conspicuous spaces. Like, I just leave them in, like, public areas sitting there.
so that people think you're there.
Park benches. That kind of thing.
Ah, yes, all the park benches around your compound in New Georgia.
Just I sit on top of like lifesaver watch out chairs. Sunny's on. Yeah.
Ah, yes, all those lifesaver beach chairs they have in New Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Hey, bitches. Okay, I go
Yeah,
on,
but I don't think that they have lifesavers. Anyway, I'm not even sure they have lifesavers. The candy.
I go on. I'm gonna go pop in my suit. Hey, bud.
Yes.
We're going to the moon.
Mm.
You know anything about the moon? Well, I mean, there's apparently an ideal base there. You know anything about that? Can you
Tidal
recall anything?
forces can sometimes affect the strength and duration of dimensional energy. Ask me if I know anything about the moon. Sometimes the gravitational pull of the moon can affect...
Right. Do you know anything about an ideal base on the moon?
I do not have any records of that, but I do not have complete records of ideal bases. Only the facilities that I had previously visited.
Yeah, yes or no answers are good, you know, just to be clear.
So no, then.
Yeah, good. Yeah, cool.
So sassy,
Alright, bud.
Finn.
Yeah, bud. Have a good day, Studi.
Could you build a nutrient tank or something?
Sure. And
would
then
be-
we cut to the suit sitting in a bucket of Raiderade,
Ah, yuck.
sitting in like a paddling pool,
Yeah.
a little shell pool, just like crouched.
Yeah, what are those
Just feed it an
plastic-
Etherenuts.
I'm like, you good, buddy? Yeah, we're just like an Etherenaut, like sitting in.
Yeah, is anybody working on the cultivation of Etherenuts?
No, we had them
Sure.
some agriculturalists, right?
Sure. That could be Amriel's contribution to this. She is menacing the locals into starting a.
I feel like they'd be into it.
You feel like they
Like-
would? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if
I don't know.
if we
I
need
don't know
to
if you
intimidate
need
the
to
locals
menace
into
them.
becoming
It's not-
becoming
you guys-
a workforce.
Yeah, like just give them jobs. You don't have to fucking menace them. Give them an opportunity to make money.
Yeah.
Although you guys don't have a lot of liquid assets, so you might need.
I'll pay him in gold.
Sure,
I was
go
wondering when that was going to become a direct problem. We've gotten so far. I'm surprised Greg hasn't just bought America or something.
Well, you don't want to
Buy-
devalue it.
Right.
Buy all
Right.
of America's debt. and then default on it. For
Will
shits
this
and
cover?
giggles.
Not in my world. I just flip them off as I fly away.
Yeah.
Sure, you start making your own fucking currency. Mint a shit ton of coins. Increase the availability of gold and drive down its value
like
as
Greg-
a material.
I feel like Greg should really have one of the aspects, not the aspects, one of the skill trappings of resources
Yeah,
Yeah, probably.
to cover gold
Drops-
production.
drop some skill points on adding that trapping.
I still think it would be better spent on a spaceship.
Sure would.
I mean, I don't know what all
Alright,
those
so
skill
Amriel does some
points are gonna
farming.
represent.
Yeah,
But,
one of my character's overall goals was to become rich and famous and start a cult of personality. So it would make sense for anybody to have the wealth trapping.
Yeah, you haven't really worked on that cult of personality thing since you
Not
did
really.
that podcast.
Well, I
interview.
guess you're going to become a famous Ethereum nut
Industrialist.
seller.
Yeah, you're gonna become famous
Start a whole chain of grocery stores,
agriculturalist.
Yeah,
exotic grocery stores across the globe.
Real whole
Amriel's
food.
fruit and veg. Farmer Ams.
Demon's choice. Tropical produce.
Oh no! It has to be like forbidden fruit.
Oh.
Forbidden fruit.
Oh, yeah, there you
It'd
go.
be a sin not to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
I can see the ads now.
It's hellishly nutritious.
In brackets,
That
it's a complete
doesn't-
food.
That doesn't sound positive. Hellishly nutritious sounds like the way you describe a Cheeto.
With
Or
hellishly low
Doritos.
prices.
Price is so low.
It's
it'll
devilishly affordable.
seem like a sin. Covet thy neighbor's fruit bowl.
Okay.
Okay, so what's Amriel doing?
I feel like Emriel's. How does Emriel work on this farming project, and how does she bend it to her needs?
Well, the reason I said intimidating and menacing people into doing the work is because that's the skill that I have. That's what I'm superhumanly good at.
It's all
Right.
you know.
You don't necessarily need to use a skill for this.
Okay. In that case, I guess Amriel would. Gosh, I don't know how you go about starting a company other than to. We have an
Well,
idea.
first of all, you don't even know if this shit's gonna grow.
All right, so I guess we would
So
start.
let's start somewhere.
We would start with that, with doing some botanical experiments to see if it takes to surface ecology.
Right, so you've got a trunk full of these coconut thingies. Now, I don't know if coconuts are actually seeds. So, let's find out how one cultivates a coconut. Coconut farms. I want a list of coconut farms. I want a Wikipedia about coconut farms. All right, let's just try coconuts then. There we go, coconut trees. Production and cultivation. It's not clear whether. Coconut Wikipedia, you're not useful.
Why don't we just
Be
hire
more
a farmer?
informative. Yeah, I just don't understand why we just hire farmers.
All right,
Give
so the
us an
coconut palm
agriculturalist.
does in fact have the coconut is in fact the seed of the coconut palm. Problem solved. Done. So
So we stick them in the ground and water them.
yeah, so you've got a trunk full. You find a nice little spot to get this going on your compound that you've sort of carved out of this
I think
country.
we might do them in pots to start.
Pots? They'd have to be
Yeah.
fucking large pots, but sure, I
No,
guess.
just to start them.
Yeah, I mean, we would probably want to experiment with different like pH in the soil and other.
Adding conditions
variables.
and things
You
we know
that they
nothing
were
about.
You know that they were growing in a volcanic sand, which you have.
Have an abundance.
The oxygen content of that area was pretty high, so you probably want to try and grow them up on the side of the volcano mountain to get that. Oh no, but the oxygen content was high rather.
Right.
You might need to grow them in a greenhouse.
Yeah, that's why I think we need to do them indoors.
Yeah. Or it might not matter at all. They might be hardy enough that they can grow.
They're a complete food and they're completely viable.
A complete plant.
So
They're the whole
after
package.
after a few weeks, it does seem like this stuff is going to grow. So that's something to do in the off season. Become coconut farmers.
Atherinuts.
Atheronut farmers, sorry. Atheronuts. There you go. It seems like it's going to work. It's going to take a while to get this up to an actual farmable crop because you brought back like maybe 50 of these things at most. Not all of those are going to germinate and grow, and then you're going to have to try and double your crop and so on and so forth. It's going to take time. I don't know how long it takes for these trees to grow to their full size. However,
5 days.
apparently a tall coconut palm can yield up to 75 fruits per year.
Huh?
So,
Wow.
it's a lot more than I would have expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Profit.
Yeah, should work. Oh, that's what they look like when they're growing. Surprising.
Well,
Anyway.
but coconut palms also produce their first fruit in 6 to 10 years, taking 15 to 20 years to reach peak production.
So, swings and roundabouts.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a demon. I got time.
Yeah, you got time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in between the research, there is one thing that Greg would like to do.
Does it involve your thing that you brought back?
Yes. Do you remember? I didn't write it down. The name of the woman at the bar.
Let's see if I made note of it. Campaign notes.
Oh no, she had a name.
I know she had a name.
Isabella.
Isabella. Right. Yes.
She has a sundress. She is noted in my notes as sundress scientist.
Oh wow. So Greg walks over to Sundress Scientist a day or two after they get back.
Yeah.
And says, Isabella, I wanted to apologize for my behavior at the bar before the last race. It was not my intention to cause you any psychological or emotional or social harm. It is just that my race, being on Earth is very confusing for me, and I do not think I am capable of those sorts of emotions. And I wanted to let you know that, but I did it in the wrong way. But I would very much...
I understand. I get it.
I'm glad to hear that. And while I do not value or do not need
And while I do not value
And while I think your whole species is a waste now, while I do not need romantic partners, I would very much like to have you as a friend, and I brought you this as a token of that friendship. And then Greg, in his hollow body, reaches into his chest and pulls out the flower that he got in the Hollow Earth, and hands it to her.
And it's encased in like glass and shit.
Yeah, because I don't want to accidentally murder her with a poisonous plant.
Oh, it's very wonderful. We should talk at some point about pockets.
Oh, yes. Yes, I have heard of those. I'm sorry, this whole thing of having a body is even newer than having a personality.
Well,
I apologize.
you can list objects, so you should, in theory, you could even have a backpack.
I had never thought of that. I could
Cheeseburger backpack?
I could have a backpack. Wow.
Yep. You guys talk about the wonders of garments.
Yes. Yeah. So Greg wanted to apologize to her.
Brilliant. So there's more research to be done. And there's modifications that need to be made to the Datsun.
Yep. So if we have to go through a metallic debris field, that sounds like a crashed spaceship. Or multiple crashed spaceships. So maybe we can research spaceship crashes on the moon? Could I do that?
Sure. Well, how?
Google?
You're going to use Google Moon, which is a thing.
And I'm not going to use Google Moon, but all NASA photographs are public record. So, and if there's any lunar orbiters, they should have pictures of. I'm assuming that there are lunar orbiters in this world, so
Yeah,
NASA
go
would
for
have
it.
pictures of that.
Go for it.
1, 2, 3, 4. +5.
You notice that the lunar orbiters do not give perfect coverage of the moon.
That's what I was going to say. If there's no wreckage, is there an area that's conspicuously absent?
It's not clear. There's a lot of areas that are not photographed in high detail. It looks like there's been a lot of focus on the polar regions, and the equatorial band. And it looks lots of photos of the areas where the early moon landings happened and things like that. And there is a photo of what looks to be an ideal base near what would be the terminus on a full moon evening.
Okay.
Because the terminus shifts. That's what makes the moon look like different shapes.
So on the full moon evening, would this base be on the near side or the far side?
It'd be
Or
on
is it,
the
like,
edge.
odd?
It would. So if you're looking at the moon on a full moon night, it is on the edge of a dinner plate. Like it is on the rim of a coin. That is its position, because the moon looks like a disc from Earth. So that is this base's position when there is a full moon.
So it's like right on the terminus.
Right
basically.
on the terminus.
Okay. Well, I think I may have found the base.
But
Excellent.
it's right there. You don't see any debris fields near it or anything.
When is the picture dated?
2013.
Okay. So it could be a more recent thing.
Or
When
when Yuri spoke to the Scout Team 1 rep, they told him that he was going to have to dodge things. Maybe it's a debris field that they plan to create?
I just blow up a moon, a spaceship.
Or a
Blow up the
minefield.
moon. Yes. Blow up the fucking moon for a fucking TV show.
Hey, the ratings though.
Oh man, the ratings.
Okay, so we have basic coordinates. That's good.
I mean, depending on how soon you finish your spaceship, you could just fucking fly out there.
That's what I was thinking. We can't
There's nothing-
start. We can't. There's nothing to stop us from like scoping it out, right?
Yeah,
As
you
long as
got-
we don't enter the base.
as long as you don't enter the base, and as long as you
all right.
don't like leave anything behind.
Okay.
It's like if there was a race in Sydney, you guys living like in the Torres Strait area, you could just travel to fucking Sydney and just stay there all month studying the area
Right.
and familiarizing yourself with the location. That is totally prep work you can do.
Okay. So Greg's gonna work on the spaceship then. See if he can speed up getting it spaceworthy.
Anybody else got any other research projects in mind? Anyone they want to talk to? Any long lost relatives that might work for a space agency?
It seems
Awfully
like a long shot.
Yeah.
Amriel, do you know any space demons?
Space
Like from
demons.
Doom? Aren't the Doom alien space demons?
Yeah, do you know the Lord of Mars?
I don't know.
Are you in with the dragon?
Are you down with the sickness?
Oh no, fuck Nurgle.
Would I know any demons who could give me knowledge for a favor of some kind, or? I mean,
Sure. Okay. Where do you go to get in contact with demons?
Other than hell.
well, I don't
Well,
really know. I don't.
Hell's tends to be a one-way trip.
Yeah. They don't really like you leaving. I would say maybe Amriel made some other demonic contacts in the underground before she turned pro. So she meets this person, this other demonic being, on a subway platform in New York City.
You've got to go all the way to fucking New York City for this. Jesus. All right. That's a long way to fly. It's a really long way to fly. That's the Pacific Ocean and a continent away. But by all means, New York City.
Well, we've got weeks, right? So
Well, yeah, you've got like a couple.
maybe Amriel is doing some kind of after she gets the planter set up. She's doing some kind of a public speaking tour
Sure.
to
So we can.
drum up support for her cult of personality.
So you're gonna do a public tour of the East Coast of North America. It starts in Canada and proceeds down to the Caribbean.
It's going to be colleges and universities because I want to.
Guten Abend hooks you up with a flight. You have to go through Croatia to get there. There's like 4 layovers. It's a horrible flight. The service is terrible, but you don't have to pay. And finally, you arrive. And so, what does this tour look like? What are the kind of things you're talking about? And what are the kind of venues you're in?
As I said, I think I want to go colleges and universities. I want to generate as much like outrage as I can from my speaking engagements, so that way a lot of people show up to them.
Are you talking about the situation in South Africa? Should I
Sure.
remind you what the situation in South Africa is?
Yes, please do.
There was a DIY superpower movement where lots of young people were using not boost patches, but similar stuff to give them like a few hours of superpowers. And then, like, there was a big moral outcry that, base raiders and base raiding and all this shit was destroying the youth of today. And how do we know that these super drugs are safe? And then some cops raided a power party, and in the ensuing chaos, hundreds of civilians got killed, and like 100 cops got killed by people with powers, because like the cops were cracking down on their fun, and the people were like, "Fuck you." And so then there were riots and things like that, and a lot of demonstrations where it's like, you can't put the genie back in the bottle. We know that we can make ourselves better, and you're just jealous that we have superpowers, and you have to be crusty old people who are going to die while we become immortal gods of the future. And it was unique because it kind of crossed ethnic lines. So like these teenagers empowering themselves came from a lot of different ethnic backgrounds. The one thing that united them all was that they were poor. Yeah. So what's Emriel's spin on that?
I guess she's going to point out that morality is a facile mechanism used by the powerful to control your behavior. They want you to consider the actions that are dangerous to the status quo to be immoral and unjustifiable.
So you're suggesting that okay, all right, yeah, that's fucking off. Okay, sure, that's fucking wild. Morality is a chain that the powerful use to keep you enslaved.
Right, exactly. The only true liberation comes from free choice.
Okay.
Bit of an anarchist, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, she's a demon, so.
Yeah.
What are there any other highlights from this tour? Obviously, you don't have a visa to enter the United States, considering that base raiding is illegal there, and you are essentially an incredibly popular, charismatic terrorist in the eyes of the American government. So, how do you get into the US? Gutenheben gets you into Canada under the guise of political representative.
Okay. So I suppose. Who might smuggle me in? I haven't made any real, like...
Well, you can invent something that might come up if we ever do a Base Raiders setting game again. There is I'm pretty sure there is a magical underground railroad that deals with, like,
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's a function of the underground.
Well, I did say that Amriel had contacts from the underground, so yeah, maybe she used them to help. She got them to smuggle her across the border.
And what does the mystic smuggler who helps you get across the border look like?
They are an androgynous wizard with long flowing purple robes and black hair, who they never speak. They communicate entirely in gestures and facial expressions.
And for our other players, what do you guys think this wizard's domain is?
Like the type of magic he does, or where he lives? Domain.
The type of magic that they do.
Don't misgender the wizard I just made up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's not misgender powerful wizards.
Like divination, maybe. Like pathfinding and stuff. Like if you're good at getting people across the border.
Yeah, that's a good a good domain.
What's the lake that Chicago sits on? That the other side of it is in Canada.
Michigan.
Michigan, yeah.
Is it just Lake Michigan? I thought it was Lake Michigan. So you catch a train out to Lake Michigan, and you meet this wizard there, who someone from the underground put you in contact with, and takes you out on a boat, and you just are kind of sitting there on this boat, and then it starts to rain, and the rain gets heavier and heavier and heavier until it's like obscuring you. And then they start to sail straight across the lake, but they keep going in really weird patterns. Like the boat curves in on its own wake at one point. And it doesn't take you long to realize that they are like avoiding being seen by every other boat on this lake. But you pass within distance of the boats, but everyone's looking in another direction, or everyone just misses seeing you. It is freaky weird. And then you pull up near this shitty old like fisherman's jetty, and the wizard just points inland.
All right. I will nod and then take my bag, I guess, that I've brought, and walk into the U.S. a free demon.
And now here you are in the United States. So I imagine you perform, I imagine the people you get in contact with on like college campuses in the US are like student bodies and things, like about like legalization of superpowers and shit like that, and like transhumanist DIY communities and weird ass maker clubs that make eye implants and shit for themselves, and installing shit with scalpels and ethanol bought from a pharmacist. They've all got training as tattoo artists and shit, because that's the only medical training they could get. And in New York, late at night, you're on a train platform. And is it another demon that you meet?
I think so.
Right. And out of the blackness of the rail tunnel, walking seemingly in the middle of the air, walks a woman in a suit with like rotten egg yellow skin. And she's walking towards you. It's like she's standing inside a ghost train
Okay.
and walking down the middle aisle of it. Because that's the height that she's at. But she's just walking on air. And then she walks down and then steps off of this invisible train, almost, onto the platform and walks up to you. Says, Emriel, it has been some time since I have seen you.
That it has. I was hoping that I might contract your services.
Of course. What is it that you need, my famous friend?
Some intel.
What do you want? News from home? Or something more material?
More material. I have no desire to know what's going on back there.
Things have been getting interesting since the disappearances, but very well. The disappearances is referring to Ragnarok.
Gotcha.
Because I'm sure there were some fucking demon supervillains that went missing.
Mm-hmm.
Probably left a power vacuum as demons just disappeared from fucking existence.
I'm sure they're all clawing each other's eyes out down there over whoever it was that's gone missing, but I found myself caught up in this base rating, and the final leg of this journey is... Go ahead.
Mhm.
Go-
I was
I
just
said go
going
ahead.
to say it is a lucrative business if you care about the material. I'm interested in your little tour of the East Coast. Been making some waves. I would recommend canceling tomorrow's appearance. What's a city that is south of New York City?
Washington,
is-
Philadelphia, Boston.
Philadelphia. There we go. I thought Boston was north.
Yeah, no. I was about to correct myself. Boston's north.
You're going to say Baltimore?
Yes.
Baltimore. I would recommend canceling your appearance in Baltimore. I believe that the anti-base raiding task force has gotten wind of your arrival, and to catch a base raider like yourself, one of the internationally famous, would be quite a notch in their belt. I'd recommend canceling or going prepared.
Well, thank you for the tip.
What exactly is it that you need to know about your upcoming race?
Well, we understand that it is to take place at an ideal base on the moon, located at the terminus between the night side and the day side. What we don't know is who the base belongs
Everything
to.
else.
Yes. We know where the base is, but not anything else about it.
Very well. And she sort of grabs your hand and takes it. And a kind of sixth finger comes out from her wrist and scratches down your forearm and hand as you start to bleed. What color is Emriel's blood?
Kind of picturing like an indigo or a purple.
Okay. And she sort of lets it run out for a minute, and then with her weird little finger thing, she kind of traces a few patterns in it, and then she licks your hand. She sort of tastes her mouth for a minute. Are you sure that you have the correct location of this base? Because that's not what I'm seeing in your future. I am seeing the moon, and I remember its cold embrace well. But I'm not seeing an ideal facility. I'm seeing something from further, something altogether more alien. But familiar to you, I should think. I see a fleet of warships, and at their heart, a true prize. A flagship sitting mostly intact amongst the lunar regolith.
Now, out of character, the history of this world. What were the big invasions again? Because I remember there were two of them.
There were the Ludians, I believe, which are the insectoids, and the Greys, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, those are the two that I remember off the top of my head. However, let's see if there's a chapter in Base Raiders that is listed as Alien Invasions. The World Now, Cold War Before Ragnarok, Underground, Factions, Base Raiding, Gaining Superpowers. Okay. I'm gonna guess Factions on page 47. Can I jump to... I can't jump to pages. Fuck you. Whatever this thing is called. Lumen PDF reader.
Ross Payton in
Lumen!
his no index book.
Does it not have an index?
No, it does not.
What the hell, Ross? Who doesn't index a role-playing book? Alright. Oh, it's the Lutians, not the Ludians. Greys, an alien species left over from the 1950s invasion of Earth. Most are psychic and fear the US government, small gray-skinned. The Lutians are an alien species which tried to conquer Earth in the 1978 invasion. Thousands were left stranded, and many of them have spawned a new generation of Earth-born aliens. Humanoids who look like a mix between an insect and a crab. Those are the two main alien invasions.
Okay. Do you think that would ring any bells for Amriel? Probably not.
Amriel's never been on a spaceship and has never encountered an alien army.
Right.
Really? You didn't fight the Greys because your master didn't give a shit. You didn't fight the Ludians because your master didn't give a shit. She could be talking about the fact that they're warships, and that's why they'd be familiar to you, as in their purpose is familiar to you.
Right.
Why don't you ask her?
Yeah, you could ask.
What do you mean?
What?
Sorry to take the mystery out of it.
Right.
Yeah. Do you ask her what does she mean?
What do you mean? I don't have time for cryptic prophecies. I need...
You take the fun out of this. I'm so used to dealing with humans who think they can only get cryptic answers. I was just being dramatic. They're clearly warships, as I can see from looking into your future. I think you will be able to find your way around them, for the most part. I do not know what race they hail from, but I do not much care for the studying of the rest of the universe. The rest of the universe has its own demons. I'm Earth born and raised.
Lucky you.
Yes, well. Unfortunately, I didn't fight in the Great War like yourself. Second generation demon, me.
Hey, like I said, lucky you.
I do. It does have its perks, although I can never rise to the great stations of your kind. Anyway, is there anything else I can help you with? Perhaps I can interest you in some weaponry for your appearance tomorrow?
What do you have?
I have a wide collection of things. Did you know that the humans had a warehouse full of magical artifacts? Most of them gathered from the Great Wars, but some a bit more contemporary. Top men. The thing about termites, they'll rot everything. It's not just the wood rot you have to worry about, it's the surrounding materials.
Can you show me anything in some demonic armor?
Some armor. Demonic? I think not. But I do have the defiled armor of Saint Michael.
It was defiled?
Yes, somebody took great care to make it demon appropriate. There is also the wind armor of Quetzalcoatl, which I have acquired. He had a lot of those breastplates made. And then, of course, we have the robes of the defiled one, Sandro Beatrice.
I'm kind of digging the defiled armor of Saint Michael, just from your description of it.
Well, by all means. Now, it's a one-of-a-kind item, so it is a bit costly.
I can have my friend make you some gold.
It's a one-of-a-kind item. I do not need gold. I need something of equal use.
How about 20 skill points?
Want to buy some boost patches?
How about 2 copper pieces?
Ooh, you drive a hard bargain.
Everything that Amriel has is not really defined in terms of story terms. So, can I spend some skill points to say that I have recovered something from one of our base raids that might be of use to this person?
I don't know, maybe. What are you thinking of? You haven't really... There's only one mystic base you've raided. She seems pretty interested in mystical artifacts.
Yeah. We're using the Angel Heart to power the spaceship.
Yes.
Okay.
That was the plan.
So I can't give her that. What is something we would have recovered from the Nile Delta run?
Something Egyptian.
Yeah.
Think of an Egyptian god and think of an item that they may have had.
Did we not steal the book and get cursed for all eternity? I think we didn't. Now that I remember this,
You
I remember the logic
acquired-
of it.
I think yeah, it was if you
I
touch
think we
that.
were like, let's
It
not
wasn't a-
actually.
It wasn't a book, it was his amulet. It was like,
Yeah.
well, we could take the amulet and have his amazing powers. It's like, yeah, but then you stop being a player character.
Yeah.
I mean, I can sell her that. Tell her it comes with a possessing wizard, a sorcerer.
Mm.
You get his powers, but you also get possessed. So it's a good fuck you item.
What was the name of this ancient wizard?
Oh God, what was he?
It
I don't
is in the
remember.
campaign notes.
I can't get into the campaign notes because I'm logged into Ragnarok.
Setman Toth.
Setman Toth.
Setman Toth. Well, I may have someone who's interested in that. It's not quite an equivalent, though. How about... I'll tell you what, I'll do it for Setman Toth and 2 favors.
Well, you drive a hard bargain, and I'm really worried about what I'm going to have to do for you, but you've been very helpful, so sure.
We have a deal. Will you be able to collect that before you leave the country?
Where from?
When were you planning to fly out? I could have it shipped to, I assume, a private airfield.
Well, the plan was I was going to fly out of. I was going to take a boat to Cuba from the University of Miami, and then fly out of there. But
I could see what I could do. Of course, you could always collect the armor in Miami and wear it to your destination.
not a bad plan.
Well, you give me a call when you're in the area, and I'll ship it. I'll ship it out now. I have some people in Miami that can hold it. And she walks off down the platform, and then she slowly fades away to nothingness.
Earthbound demons give me the creeps. Ugh. Always so theatrical.
All not needing to be summoned to Earth and shit.
Yeah. Amriel boards the next subway train, like muttering to herself, and
Yeah, and all the people fucking looking at you. Well, I suppose not that many people. I don't know how crowded a late night New York subway car is.
some can be very crowded.
Yeah, it depends on the day.
Alright, so there's like a bunch of people that are looking at you as you're wearing like a hoodie and some long pants, but you've still got, you know, taloned hands and a red face and your wings shoved into a backpack awkwardly.
Amriel takes out her Apple earbuds and just puts them on and starts
Apple?
playing.
That doesn't sound like a sponsor that we'd have.
No. God, who would it be?
Crapple.
Pear.
Yeah.
It can't be Pear.
You know what? I bet
Schnapple.
the Extreme Sunglass company that sponsors us also makes like sports headphones. So there are those.
Oh,
yeah, so
okay.
maybe X-ray eyewear has
Yeah.
has some sporting earbuds. Sure. So you put on your X-ray earbuds that seem to pulse with an unearthly light. So they've got full stereophonic surround sound and 3D audio quality. You know, other things that don't make sense, but people put on the sides of headphone packets.
Hmm. And then Amriel puts on some tunes.
What kind of music does Emriel listen to as she is trying not to feel like an entire train is staring at her worried?
My first impulse is to say thrash metal, something that you can just wail to.
I was thinking thrash metal, but I also think it would be hilarious if it was like calm classical music.
It's like a soundscape. It's one of those like the ocean lapping at the beach.
With like a
Reminds
keyboard
you
in the
of,
background.
A few. So back on the island, Yuri. It's the middle of the day. What are you doing?
I think. Wait. So is Greg? I mean, the spaceship is essentially structurally
Greg-
together.
Yeah, it's structurally together. They're skinning it. They need to give it an atmosphere and a means of recycling said atmosphere, and then they kind of need to get it into space. But you know, it's coming along.
Yep. I think at the current moment, Yuri is in the hangar bay garage workshop of the spaceship.
Right,
Working
so
on the Datsun.
originally the spaceship didn't have one of those. It did have several bomb bays, though, so I imagine you've refit one of those.
Should we emptied the bombs out?
Well, yeah, they were gone.
Most of them. Yeah.
I kind of imagine when we got the spaceship, it was basically a hollow shell. Like each deck had just been stripped bare, so basically just like a big hollow shell with a command room.
Effectively, a lot of
Not
the
a
weapons
huge
and shit
system.
had been pulled out because they were nuclear bombs, and the French government didn't want you to have those.
That's fair.
Understandably.
But
They're easy enough to make.
yeah, indeed, when you can just fucking turn any element into any other element.
Right.
Greg's just here to destabilize your entire economy.
Yep. Yuri gets a call over the radio. Yuri, quick question.
He flips up his welding helmet, takes the call. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Greg.
How important is breathing to you and Amriel?
Me, fairly. Amriel, very.
All right, thank you. Click.
I'll
keep working.
Your suit can hold an atmosphere for some time.
Yeah, exactly.
hasn't been-
So fairly important.
It hasn't been thoroughly tested. And you definitely don't think it can endure a vacuum.
All right. Well,
However,
we'll
it can endure the cosmic rays of being on the surface of the moon, so there's that. You won't have to worry about being irradiated by space.
That's the main problem, right?
That's the main problem. You just need like a fucking scuba tank otherwise. So you go back to welding?
Yeah, so I think it's essentially Yuri is all of this time of Amriel going to America and Greg doing Greg things. is Yuri spent working on the Datsun.
And making this bomb bay into more of a workshop.
Yeah, I essentially just like wheel a bunch of shit in and then like knock out some walls.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The big kind of round room when everything's done, because you are on the bottom part of the ship where all the bombs were extruded, and they were extruded. If you remember, the way that you got to the bomb launching areas was like this ring catwalk around the bottom of the thing.
yeah.
So once you've knocked out all the walls and shit, and the engines have all been moved to different locations already by Greg and TKS, you just have this big kind of round room. Yeah. Do you have any assistants or anything? Are there any TKS people in here or anything like that? Any of the islanders?
Yeah, I feel like I have some mechanics. I am capable of working alone, but I understand the benefits of having a crew.
One of the TKS technicians is like showing, is installing like this weird ass drill multi-tool set thing with like metamaterial drill heads and shit. He's explained it to you what it's for like 5 times, and you're still not quite sure why you'd use that over a normal drill set, but he's installed it. And then somebody runs in and says something in Portuguese, and then the guy installing the drills sort of taps you on the shoulder and says in Japanese, "There's something going on with Emriel." And the guy that came in pulls out his phone, and it shows you a YouTube video of a demon that is clearly Emriel putting 3 transit cops through the window of a subway car.
Is this a YouTube video or a live video?
It's a YouTube video. It was uploaded about an hour ago.
Good. I call Emriel.
Emriel, you are.
I wish it was a live video for this reason.
I know. Emriel, you're. Do you go high or low after escaping these cops? Do you hide in the sewers, like in the Warrens of New York, or do you like fly up to the top of a building somewhere?
I'm gonna go high.
Yeah, King Kong it.
Yeah.
So,
in which case, I like call Emriel, and on this like tablet, I like check for other news alerts about demon in New York, and then find a live police helicopter stream.
Yeah, there's this brooding demon up on a fucking building. Emriel, there's a big light shining in your eyes as you feel your phone vibrating in your jacket.
I will answer the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Emriel,
what's up, Yuri?
It's very windy up here. It's hard to hear anything.
I was just gonna ask you the same thing. You specifically, I mean, yeah. What's up, Emriel?
Currently,
on top of buildings.
Currently, me. Apparently.
So what the chain of events here is: some transit cops got called by people in your carriage, being like, "There's a demon." They came to politely ask you to come to the station. And I assumed that you refused.
Yeah, no, that's a fair assumption.
And then you got out of there, and now you're up on this building.
Just to
as to anything that happened between getting out of the subway car and arriving at the top of this building, you can fill that in as you like.
Did you tell us you were going to America?
Yes.
Yeah.
She said she was going to meet some people and also do some
Public speaking.
Alright.
some politicking.
So how's the campaign trail, Emriel?
It's a little rocky so far.
Mm-hmm. Getting some. Well, I guess all publicity is good publicity. Hey.
Ma'am, we are going to need you to come down from that building. This
I
is the New York City Police Department.
I flipped them off.
Continue.
Apparently, it's illegal to be a demon in New York. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
It's
It's
legal
so
to be
racist.
a lot of minorities in New York.
So is now a good time to chat?
Well, I have a few minutes.
Yeah,
I think I'm canceling the rest of my speaking tour.
All right. Well, this will drum up more support anyway.
I think so.
So how'd your meetings go? What did you find?
Well, I met with this demon who spilled my blood and read my future, and she told me that the base we're looking for is not an ideal base. It's
An ideal base.
what happened?
An
You said
ideal base.
Ideal base.
What is it then?
It's some kind of war fleet.
Uh-huh. Of what? Who? Huh?
She didn't say. She was being very cryptic. She,
Right. Did you
I
ask her up front?
I did. I
Mhm.
did. Most she would say is that there was something very much worth having at the heart of the war fleet, and that we weren't looking for a base on the moon.
Oh.
Well,
Yuri's like,
it
Yuri
is
like
on
puts the phone
the
down.
moon.
He's like, guys, stop fiddling with the hydraulics. Get the rocket boosters. And I come back on the phone with Amaryl. Right. Okay. Yeah. So it's not. It's on the moon, but it's not on the moon.
Well, it's not a base. It's a fleet of buried warships, maybe, or crashed warships. Could explain that debris field that Scout Team 1 mentioned.
Hmm. Yeah. All right. Well. Yeah. That sounds helpful. Do you need a hand? I don't know. Do you want me to call you a cab?
I don't know if cabs stop all the way up here. Probably not, is my guess.
Yeah. All right.
I think I'm gonna try to see if I can shake this helicopter tail, and if not, then just fly as fast as I can out of U.S. airspace.
You gotta go to Miami and pick up your fucking new armor.
Mm.
That sounds like a fun time, Emriel.
Yep, it's
I'm
gonna be
really-
great.
I'm really sad I can't be there.
Well, hey, it'll probably be on the internet, so
Yeah, all right. I'll just keep this live stream open.
Ma'am, I have been authorized to fire upon you if you will not come down from that building. Please fly to the bottom of this building, where we have some officers that would like you to answer some questions. This is your final warning. I will fire upon you unless you surrender.
I'm gonna make as close to eye contact as I can with the helicopter pilot. Probably gonna be pretty difficult with the spot in my face. But I'm gonna stare through that as best I can, and I'm gonna let out a terrifying demonic roar and use my ascendant tier menace trapping.
Go for it.
Let's see.
Do you hang up the phone, Yuri?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm a human. I usually say goodbye before we finish talking.
All right.
That sounds right.
All right. So in that case, I will say before I do this, I'll say I gotta go, Yuri, and I'll hang up. And
Yuri
then-
just kind of looks at the phone. And he's like, "I didn't even." All right, bye, Amriel. Close his phone.
I'm going to. I got a +2, and I'm going to invoke my complication, ugly as sin, because that's going to make me more terrifying.
Yeah.
So that brings
So
me up to +4.
the helicopter kind of jerks, and then a news helicopter that had come in close. They both kind of get within like 10 meters of one another as this thing jerks back, and then all the pilots in both helicopters start to freak the fuck out. And then they both kind of pull away from the area. Then I assume you take wing.
Yeah, I'm going to ditch as fast as I can.
Where do you fly roughly towards?
Let's see. If I'm done speaking in New York, then I'll probably go toward Philadelphia, which is my next stop.
All right, cool. So you fly towards Philadelphia, and you feel your phone vibrating in your pocket as you're flying away from New York City. Maybe 10, 20 minutes later.
Who is it?
It says Raid Marketing.
Okay. I think I'm gonna let that one go to voicemail.
They call several times during your flight.
Hello.
Hello, Alex.
Okay.
You return.
My mic stopped working. Sorry. Continue. Didn't mean to interrupt.
All right, fine. I will answer.
Yeah, you answer as you arrive above Philadelphia. Amriel, what are you doing?
Going on a speaking tour. What are you doing?
Right. We love that you're doing more speaking events. We do have a slight problem. We tend not to fucking antagonize the U.S. government.
A fair point.
Look, Amriel, baby, I love it. I love your whole thing. I love this whole punk rock, anarchism, support the South Africans, and all that jazz. It's great. It's a great image. It really gets the teens fired up. Helps us tap into that DIY transhumanism crowd. The problem is, you're currently violating U.S. airspace. You've illegally entered the United States. You are, technically speaking, a terrorist. And you've been, quote unquote, inciting public violence. Not to mention the fact that you assaulted 3 police officers that I know of. So, maybe it's time to wrap up your speaking tour of the United States.
I'm sorry.
Obviously,
What was your name again? I don't really give a shit. And then I hang up.
Yeah. Do you leave the United States, or do you stay and continue to rabble rouse?
I said I wanted the cult of personality, so
And someone did just tell you not to do it.
yeah.
You can't tell me to quit. I'd already quit. Now I'm gonna do it more. So how do you turn this to your advantage in a few lines or less?
I'm gonna keep going with the with my whole line about morality being the leash that the powerful use on the weak, and say that they have tried to silence my message because they don't want the people who are going to decide the future of this world to have the power to do so. They want everybody to be good little citizens and go to school and go to work and keep buying their bullshit products.
All right. Well, you continue to talk up the East Coast, and things get a bit hairy. There's large demonstrations in several major cities, especially in Miami, where apparently the U.S. government has gotten word of your arrival, and they have deployed anti-base raiding officials. There's a name for that agency, but I'm struggling to remember what it is called.
If you were going to say that there were big protests and everything in Philly, I was going to say, no, that's just Philly.
Yeah, Philly. There's like an anti-base raiding government thing. I just can't remember what it's called. Anyway, the point is, there's some fuckers in like fucking power armor and shit that have been sent to deal with you, apparently. Miami's looking like Seattle from Dark Angel. Sector cops everywhere.
I was wondering if you were about to drop Dark Angel, and I thought, nah, that's way too obscure. But then you did it.
No, bunch of sector cops everywhere. Fucking assault rifles with laser beams strapped to them and all sorts of crazy shit. They've, secured all the airports and things like that. They've got people posted at anywhere where they think you might do a public address. Is it just you here, Amriel? Is anyone else taken up this cause?
I feel like maybe a few of the people who have heard me speak have heard my message.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make a radical suggestion?
Which is?
Go for it.
The Valkyrs have taken up her cause of progressive transhumanism and being able to decide what to do with your body. That sounds like their jam.
Sure, let's see. Which of the Valkyrs are left alive? I think Amalia's dead. You know what? Hildy's here. So Hildy calls you, Emriel. He says, "Hey, I like the work you've been doing in America."
Thank you. Not many people do.
I was wondering if you'd like to make a big statement in Miami.
What sort of statement are we talking about?
I have a crate here of 1,000 boost patches.
Oh, shit.
That sounds like exactly the kind of statement I would want to make, Hildy. That sounds like exactly the kind of statement I would want to make.
Yeah, we have a lot of them because we tend to buy them whenever they come up because we can render them down into fuel for our own superpower concoctions. It's a lot cheaper than trying to make them from scratch. And, seeing as we're not taking part in the race anymore, this year at least, I thought maybe you could use the spares.
Can you get them to me?
Where are you?
I'm guessing probably a safe house somewhere belonging to somewhere in the underground, someone in the underground who has
Yeah.
what
The safe house is in the fucking Magic Kingdom.
in Orlando.
Yes.
Is the Magic Kingdom a part of Disney World or something?
Yes, it's Disney World.
Is it Disney World in Miami or in Florida? Or
No, it's in Florida. It's not.
is it Disneyland or
it's a
Disney
ways-
World? Because
It's
isn't
Disney
Disney
World.
World
That's
one of the
yeah.
other ones?
Yeah, it's
Disneyland is in
several-
California.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's several hours north of Miami, but
I mean, that's nothing for a demon with wings.
yeah,
I feel like Walt Disney's probably a base raider. If he was alive, he'd be a base raider.
Amriel is staying in Walt's apartment. The one over
No,
there.
Cinderella's castle
Okay,
or Walt's apartment.
I was gonna
just
say
think Cinderella's castle.
they
is
used
hilarious.
to they used to keep an apartment for Walt Disney in the firehouse on Main Street, USA, and since he died, they
Oh.
leave the light on every night.
You're in there with
Yeah.
the ghost of Walt Disney.
That's
I don't
better.
know enough about Walt Disney to talk about like his personality as a ghost, so we'll just he's there, he's doing ghost things. We'll brush over it. And Hildy says, "I'll need 12 hours to get into position." But I guess I'll you've got your phone on you, right?
Um,
And I'm calling you, so obviously
I'm gonna have to change phones in a few hours. They've been
I need you to keep the phone you have.
all
And I
right.
need you to plug it into a charger.
My love, to use the Java command line,
Sure.
you need to install a JDK.
Yeah, something about installing a JDK.
That's what my computer says.
Your phone is telling you how to install teleportation apps.
All right.
The JDK teleportation app.
Yeah.
Naturally.
So yeah, I will plug my phone in and
So about 6 hours, morning comes and your phone rings. It's like 5 a.m. And as you answer, Hildy's like, "I need you to describe in detail the largest space that is open space that is near you, preferably to within 15 meters of you."
okay. Does it have to be? Do you want it to be indoors or do you want to appear right in the middle of Main Street, USA?
Doesn't really matter. Wherever I come in, it's gonna be indoor. It's gonna be outdoors pretty quickly.
Ah. Yeah. In that case, they've got like lots of big floral arrangements around Main Street. So I'll describe one of those. So she'll appear in a nice flower bed and hopefully not blow very much except dirt and flowers up.
All right, and there's nobody near that.
I mean, there's tourists everywhere, but they're pretty sizable.
At 5 a.m.
Oh, at 5 a.m. Okay, I'm sorry, I missed that. Yeah, no, the park hasn't opened yet, so yeah, it's clear.
Any lampposts or billboards close to that spot?
There's a couple of wrought iron fences.
That shouldn't be an
enclosing
issue.
it.
Can you do me a quick favor?
Sure.
Throw your phone into said flower bed.
Okay.
So you open the window and throw it down there.
Yeah.
And then about 60 seconds later, you see a bright yellow and green lightning bolt strike the flower bed, and then like a bubble of oil-colored, like hyper-colored water kind of expand out from the middle of it, and then the lightning bolt sort of plays in reverse and goes back up into the sky. And then you hear this thunderous kaboom as this liquid flies in all directions and just stains everything. The flower bed is burnt to a crisp, and standing in the middle is Hildy in her full tack gear with an M16 at her side and a spear in one hand, with one leg up on this big like military hardware plastic trunk. Cut to two warrior women grinning at one another as they hand out boost patches in the middle of Miami. And the riot rages for many days. And you get your magical armor,
Nice.
which gives you an extra set of wings.
Sweet.
And the aspect for said armor, it can give you like normal armor bonus. Like it's not that crazy. Like give it whatever you fucking pour into it skill wise.
Okay.
It gives you armor, gives you an extra pair of wings, and it has the aspect. It has the aspect defiled armor of the Dragon Slayer.
Ooh.
Damn. That's just badass.
As you realize that you were lied to, and it is not the armor of Saint Michael. This is the defiled armor of Saint George. Still good, but not what you asked for.
That's true. When that demon comes calling for her favors, I'm gonna have to have a stern word with her.
You can reinterpret her favors as she clearly reinterpreted your desire for magic armor.
Right. One of my favors is that I'm not going to make a big thing about it.
Yeah, yep, sounds good. And back at the island, maybe an hour, a bit of non-linear time here. Maybe the next day after you called Amriel in New York, Yuri, you get a courier comes running up the beach as you're having lunch or whatever, and he hands you a package. He says, I brought this from the post office for you, sir. He kind of looks like one of the islanders, and he hands it over and starts heading back into town.
All right. I'll rip it open.
It's about the size of a PlayStation, and inside are 3 kind of inch-thick cell phones and a post-it note stuck to them that says, "This will unlock the doors." Signed, Scout Team 1.
How far out are we from the start of the race?
Maybe like a week and a half or so. You guys have had a lot going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just want to make sure it wasn't like the day before.
No.
Cool. I pocket those. And I'll like later on we cut to like I meet up with Greg at some point while he's like working or in having a floating rest.
Oh, hello, Yuri.
Hey, Greg.
Are you dead set on that breathing thing?
Yeah, I am dead set
All
on
right.
it.
Very well.
We do die if we don't do that.
Right. I'm sorry. You're right. Of course.
Yeah. It's fine. You know, like I've died before. It's only the worst thing.
Oh well.
It's only the
it's a-
worst thing.
If it's any consolation, I didn't exist for most of my life.
It's not, but yeah.
Oh.
So Scout Team 1, Senate, we got a package, and I hand Greg one of the cards.
Can I examine it?
Go for it.
I am my own. Oh wait, the thing reopened in Hangouts. It's not in Chrome anymore. Okay. Before. Oh, that's 3 dice. Roll. All right, so that puts me at +5.
Nice. So you want to know what these things are?
Yeah.
They appear to. So you notice that these inch-thick cell phone-looking things have a weird kind of sticky silicone section at one end of them, and as you like touch it against your fingers, you realize that it's a reactive material. You turn on the device, and it has it doesn't have any features to it at all. It just has a touch screen button appears when you turn on the screen, and it says open close, and then there's a little button down in the bottom right hand corner that says lock.
This sounds like a very human technology, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does it look right? It looks human.
It looks like it was built by humans. It's a pretty advanced thing.
Yeah, like it
Oh.
looks like it must be harnessing something else, but it's built by people.
I'm gonna point it at the floor and just hit open.
Nothing happens.
Good.
Do you
Okay.
touch it to the floor?
You know what? I'm gonna go outside because I'm assuming we're in the spaceship. So I'm gonna go outside to a big rock or a tree or whatever's nearby.
I follow Greg out.
I'm gonna press it to a rock and hit open.
Nothing happens.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like you press the rock and you're like beep beep, and you're just like
Good.
You know what? It flashes up a pink kind of warning symbol and says invalid.
So it only works for certain items. Good to know.
hang on, Greg. I'm not sure. You're not really. I should probably clue you in. These are probably keys, which in walls sometimes we have openings so we can pass through. We call them doors. Yeah. Sometimes we lock those doors so someone can't pass through, but we use keys as a unique item to open a door for individual people with the key.
Yuri, I've spent the last 3 weeks building an interstellar spaceship. I know what a fucking door is.
All right, I just wasn't sure. You did just try and open a rock.
I was
Not wrong.
I was conducting a very simple and quick experiment.
Sorry, Greg. Sorry,
If
it's
it worked
happened
in any
before.
other principles.
I just know that walls are the hardest thing for you. You know?
They are confusing, yes, but you people seem to like them, and so I have adapted.
And to be fair, I think of all the things about walls, keys are probably the weirdest bit.
You're not wrong about that.
It's pretty clear from looking at this that it is meant to open electronic locks. Because, like, a physical lock is going to be no problem for you guys who have super strength. But if there's, like, some kind of energy gateway
Right.
or something that has an electronic control panel,
Well,
you
basi-
don't speak. You
Tell
don't.
you-
You,
tell you
you
what.
don't speak
Tell you-
alien.
I walk to the
Yes.
nearby car park,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you know what, Greg? Maybe you're onto something. And then I poke it against someone's car
hmm
and go open.
All of the doors unlock.
Ah,
Boop, boop.
And you hear the latches open, as if the doors have tried to open themselves, but like very few.
And like the
Earth
bonnet
cars-
pops and the
Yeah,
boot
very
pops.
few- Yeah, the boot pops. Some of the windows all go down.
The ashtray pops open.
Yeah. Not a lot of Earth doors or not a lot of Earth cars have doors that will fully open themselves, and I don't feel like there's a lot of Teslas in
New Georgia.
New
Even they don't
Georgia.
open their own doors.
Some of them do.
All right, the one I was in that didn't. It didn't open its door.
Basically, Greg was just trying to see if this was because it could have been like a magic device
Yeah,
that would
it
have
just
just
like
opened
opens
Yeah, yeah.
anything.
portals.
You do
Fair,
notice
fair.
that the weird, like, programmable material changed shape when you touched it against the
Uh-huh.
thing, and you saw like a circuit pattern of black spread out over the bonnet.
Yep.
So that
and I'm like,
seems to be.
Well, yeah, fair idea, Greg. Just as a note, let's remember to not use one of these on a plane.
Oh,
We're on the spaceship, actually.
Or
Let's
or
keep
on
them
the
safe on the
spaceship.
spaceship.
It does seem to just open all doors.
Greg,
Yeah.
Greg, just a design note for the spaceship. Can you put some mechanical fail safes into the airlocks?
oh yes.
In fact, just all mechanical, so that they can't be electronically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good.
Although then you can't do that classic spaceship combat maneuver where you kill people in rooms from the cockpit by
Opening all
venting
the
the
doors.
atmosphere.
What if we need to
No,
put
we
out a
could.
fire?
That's the overrides are in case the fail safes are in case the system's not working properly. But that would be the system. working
In
properly.
case all of the doors try to open at once.
Yeah, exactly.
Wonderful. I think we cut.
These are very interesting and convenient.
Yuri. Well, actually, I feel like we can. Essentially, I'm establishing that essentially off-screen Yuri is working on the car at virtually all times.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're not going to pour any time into your family or anything?
I feel a little bit under the pump to produce a space-ready Datsun.
Fair enough. I get it. I understand.
And I think, yeah, I'll catch up with them when I'm back from the moon, maybe.
All right. So,
Bring him back a
Um,
moon rock.
Amriel gets back from America after having handed out effectively super weapons to teenagers.
Mm-hmm. Cult of personality. Kids go wild with freebies.
And you guys get a phone call from
Just like a
Guten,
group call.
from Guten Abend. Yuri gets a phone call.
All right, yep. I'll put it on spot. We're like, I don't know, like sitting around in the rec room or something, having like Yuri is like sitting there reading
The quote unquote rec room, is this of the spaceship or of your camp?
I think it's on the spaceship. I think we've essentially we're moving shit to the spaceship at this point. Yuri is reading like Big Wheel Trucks magazine.
Yeah, they've got a new this current issue has a piece about Vulcan Tire's new unique smart material tread that's about to hit the market.
What are Amriel and Greg doing in the rec room?
Greg is making sure that the rec room is sealed. Since you guys are so concerned about having oxygen to breathe, Greg is double and triple checking all the seals.
Greg's become hyper aware about it.
Yeah.
Are you testing the seals using yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, see if it fits through them.
I could still fit molecules through the seal.
There's
Can't
just
have
like
air
a
leaking
little
out.
like
My flush
whistling hiss where it's just like Greg's like, that one's got a leak. No, no one there.
This one's good.
And Amriel?
Oh, real.
I've got like I've got like a ping pong table. It's the rec room, you said, right?
Yeah.
I've got like a ping pong table. Half of it's folded up, and I'm smacking a ping pong ball against the folded up half, and just playing ping pong with myself.
Is it a ping pong or is it like a squash ball for Emil?
I
Maybe
Just
feel
to
like
compensate
Gabrielle
for
would
your
just
mum
rip a
demonic
fucking
strength.
ping pong ball apart.
Just so you two know, I haven't had time to design a artificial gravity system yet. So once we leave Earth's gravity well, the ping pong will be a very difficult game to play.
Just be a
I like the
different game to
challenge. And we the call comes through. I'm like, oh, call from Dust Guys. I put it on speaker.
It is from Guten Abend. It is their
I
still
answer the
legal
phone, and I'm
department.
like, I answer the phone. I'm like, Guten Tag.
Hello, Herr Yuri.
Hey, you're on speaker. It's Greg and Amriel here too.
Oh, fantastic.
There's
Look,
like a
we
hissing whine.
we sorry if we're interrupting you, but we wanted to discuss some recent events.
Uh-huh.
Now, obviously, we're very, very happy with the
You're very
work
happy
you've
with the
done.
coconuts?
Oh, we're very happy with the work you've done for us, helping promote the airline. You've really driven sales.
Yeah.
We're not exactly pleased with all of the giving you free air flights, but that is part of the sponsorship
We haven't
deal.
just been getting like private chartered flights, right?
No.
Like
No.
Amriel like just took a seat in economy, right? Or business. We would go business, obviously.
Yeah, indeed.
Amriel needs a leg room.
We understand. We just didn't realize it's just part of your contract. We just didn't realize you'd be taking such liberal advantage of it. But
I mean,
but
what?
we have had
Hold on. What's your name again?
it's me, Carl.
It's me, Carl. Right, Carl. Sorry, Carl.
Remember we talked when you signed.
Yes. Sorry, Carl. How many flights have we taken in the last month since signing up? Maybe
Let's
one to and
see.
from each venue. Amriel popped over to South America or whatever. What, like 6?
It's
2
more
to
than we
4.
expected, to be honest. Anyway, that's not really the main reason we called.
Right. Okay. Is there a point? I mean, just so we can tick this off the agenda. You just bringing that up, or what do you want me to do about it, Carl? We should fly
Look,
less.
honestly, I don't think it's going to be an issue after we're done with this phone call.
Yeah, once we have a spaceship, Carl, I think we'll be good. So don't worry too much.
Look, that's kind of the thing that's related to what we want to talk about.
Related. Okay.
We are concerned that through our association with you,
As he says, we are concerned. I like raise my eyebrows at Amriel, being like, "All right, here we go."
that we have indirectly, and through no fault of our own, become
Carl,
associated.
you don't have to legally cover yourself with me. It's fine. Just talk like a person.
Become associated with the arming and radicalization of North American youth groups.
Well, I'm sorry, Carl, but I can't speak for that. You'll have to talk to Amriel. Amriel? Yuri looks expectantly at Amriel.
I'm sorry, guys. My wife is having an allergic reaction. I have to step away for a minute.
That's
fine.
all right.
You go.
Amriel looks at you smugly, as if to say, "Fuck you! I'm not talking about it.
Fuck you. I'm like,
I did what I did, and I don't apologize."
I briefly think I'm briefly like, you'll have to talk, Greg, sidebar.
What?
Do we have lawyers?
No.
No, that's right. Yeah, Carl. Yeah, so you'll have to talk to me about that.
Remember, Greg is an illegal alien and an actual alien. Amriel is a mythological being, and Yuri is dead. So your legal status.
Actually, legal status is pretty open. Actually, yeah.
We're not really
think I-
people.
I think I've
Indeed.
fallen through quite a lot of loopholes in this.
Arguably,
Particularly,
any contract made with Yuri is
can't
non-binding.
sue me if I'm dead.
It's not your legal name, and you're dead.
Yeah. Yeah. So Carl, yeah, you have concerns about that. Mm-hmm.
Look, we're just wondering if this is going to be part of your new brand direction. And if it is, we would like to look at resolving our contractual obligations to one another because we feel like you're going in a direction that we're not willing to follow.
Okay, Carl. Let me just say that when the revolution comes, you'll be the first against the wall. Yeah.
Okay, Yuri, I feel like you're coming at me with a lot of hostility.
Yeah. I guess I am. Let's just say I don't like being lawyered to. Okay. Look, we'll see. I can't, as I said, I can't speak for Amriel, although I am speaking for Amriel. But look, our brand's an amorphous and evolving thing. You did sign up a crew called the Ethereals, right? Consisting of a demon, a hyper-intelligent fart, and a dead guy in a samurai suit. So, I mean, I guess you got to roll with the punches in some senses.
We're really happy with how you've helped revitalize our advertising strategy, but we are concerned about being tethered to the funding of terrorist organizations.
Let's hold up.
Now, obviously, base raiders
I think labeling, like broad labelizations of terrorist organizations is a bit. Let's feel like that's a bit extreme, Carl.
Well, I'm not the first one that brought those labels upon you. That would be the United States government.
Yeah, well, the United States government doesn't recognize us as people, which is frankly, I don't think something. You want to be complicit in that? Is that what you're
You
saying?
want to be on the wrong side of history, Carl?
Yeah. Do you want to sympathize with us because America says we're not people and don't deserve to exist, or do you want to be good people, support the vast number of suffering minorities that have spilled through the rifts and from outer space and from the afterlife, and carve yourself a real niche?
Are you suggesting that your motivations for the events of late is tethered to the suffering of the oppressed,
to the
refugees
representation
and the like?
Yeah.
We can work with that. I'll get back to you. And he hangs up.
Okay, cool.
That sounds like it went well.
Yeah, I think it did. I think that went about as well as could possibly be expected.
Quick sidebar. Seeing as Alex knows Ryan and his wife better than I do, should we be concerned?
I don't know. I didn't know she had allergic reactions to things. Considering Ryan took the time to tell us and not just drop his mic and run away.
It suggests it might be not
maybe
severe. I mean, we'll keep rolling with the scene and see where we go.
See. Yeah.
Because we can't end this stream.
Oh yeah.
So
right.
I don't know how far you are
air.
from Ryan's house. You might have to go for a drive.
I don't think his parents would appreciate that because they're probably asleep now, and I don't have a key. Oddly enough, I don't have a key.
I feel like worst case scenario, we can leave the stream rolling.
Yeah.
Indeed, YouTube will end it eventually.
Cut the
It'll
end
just be fucking annoying to and have to download a 6-hour fucking recording.
Yeah, the second half will just be silence.
That'll be fun. Oh well, we'll deal with that when we come to it. So,
Yes.
as you guys are chilling in the rec room, a few minutes after you get off the phone, you guys get another phone call.
I never realized we were so popular.
Yeah, we're
It's
just
not-
Mr. and Ms. Popular.
It's your caller ID doesn't register it as anyone you've previously called. It just comes up with a phone number.
Oh, I'm on a do not call list. What is this?
Hi guys, I'm back.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, well, that answers that question.
Everything okay?
Yeah, she was just wearing some latex gloves. She was moving something extremely dirty, and she had kind of a, between the sweat and the dust and everything, she had kind of a reaction on her hands.
Ah.
So we found her an antihistamine, and
Okay.
Gotcha.
Alex was noting that he didn't even know your wife was allergic to anything.
Tell me again so I know what not to use in my poisons. I mean, poisons.
Sounds like latex to me.
don't
And
use
dust,
anything.
asthma.
Yeah, don't use anything that came out of Allie's mother's basement.
Good to know. Well, we're not too far from finishing, but we were remarking that, like, if Ryan never comes back, we can't end this
we
streak.
kind of the street.
Like, even us all leaving doesn't end. So let's wrap things up in case there's another allergic reaction.
Briefly to recap, I essentially just threatened the Guten Eben lawyer and then said that we were definitely representing the oppressed, and he sounded all good.
Sweet.
Now we have
Said
another
we
call
could work.
from
We do have
from
another
an
call.
unknown number. I answer it, and I'm like, Yuri speaking. Ethereals. Space
Yuri,
station?
just the man I was hoping to talk to. My name's Mr. Dickens. I'm representing Briscoe Corp, Snack Foods International.
No.
We were hoping
No.
that you and yours could do us a fine ass favor.
Is this a favor or a legally binding agreement?
Legally binding agreement, my good man. We'd like you to do some product placement on your for us on your
Yeah.
next there race up on that there moon.
Where'd
We'd like,
where'd you hear about us?
Oh, well, we've been a sponsor of the. Hang on, gotta scroll up. I want to give the full proper name because he's the kind of guy that would. We've been a long-term sponsor of the Raiderade Race to the Base Adventure Race International Series. And recently we've been quite intrigued by your public image. So we'd like you
How
to
recently? How recently?
to be honest, we love your whole anti-big government image that you've got going. It really sells with our core demographic.
Yeah.
So we
What-
would like
What's your product?
we make Briscoes, that most lovable chip from Texas,
All right.
manufactured right in the heart of Texas, Louisiana.
Uh-huh.
Is out of character, real quick. Is that a joke, or do you not know where Texas is?
They're like branding is that they like it says on it manufactured
Right,
right,
yeah.
in the heart of Texas, but like if you look
Oh,
on the
but they're in Louisiana.
Made
Okay.
in Louisiana.
on the package,
Gotcha,
it says
okay.
made in Louisiana.
I laughed and then I felt bad for a second, being like, "Wait a minute, does he not know where Louisiana is?"
No, I know that those are both fucking states.
State.
And-
Good.
Look, I'm coming at this with my American public school education, so I assume that other people have the same level of understanding of the rest of the world as I do.
Oh no, don't worry.
so
we
I
all
cut everyone a lot of slack.
We all get thoroughly educated on the popular American states. I couldn't tell you where the fuck Ohio is.
No one can.
And up until recently, I thought that Omaha was much closer to Ohio than it is.
Well, Omaha's a city.
I thought it was a state. Anyway, see?
Yes.
But I know
I
where
feel better.
Louisiana is.
Okay.
Dickens.
Yeah. So we make that most beloved brisket flavored
Let's talk
chip.
logistics.
Of course.
We're going to the moon. Yeah,
Now Finn's affecting that accent.
I am. I can't. It's very contagious.
It got wandering accent syndrome.
Look, Yuri's been through a few bodies. It's one of those things. He
It's
has that problem where he just starts imitating people while he's talking to them.
I used to have that problem a lot when I was a kid.
Hmm.
Anyway,
We're going to the moon. Mm-hmm.
yeah. That's what we hear. That's
Yeah,
what all the
yeah.
advertisements saying.
Mm-hmm. So you want us to do some product placement with your chips on the moon?
We most certainly do there, Yuri. And frankly, we'd like to get your entire crew on board, especially now that Greg fella's got himself a buddy.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah,
on
some-
speakerphone or is he just talking?
Yeah, it's definitely on speakerphone.
Oh no, it's not actually a body. It's just a holographic projection.
Look, son, I don't rightly care as long as you can put a chip inside your mouth and pretend that you're enjoying its delicious briskety flavor.
Well,
Hell,
I
you
can't
don't even have to
understand.
like the chip. Just look like you do.
I suppose I could try to do that.
Well, I say, beyond the technical details of whatever you're asking, I say we're probably good for that. We're good for that, right? Yeah? Everyone?
What
Great?
benefit do we
Of
get out of
course.
this?
Money.
Well,
Greg.
of
Money.
course, you get a lifetime supply of Briscoes, but
Exactly.
we're also would be providing you with a salary increase, as well
Well, cha-ching,
as
I
well
think.
as a bonus for every bit of product placement you do of your own volition, while on those live feeds from the moon.
I don't suppose you happen to have a fully functional oxygen reclamation system for a 5 million cubic foot spaceship.
Well, I don't rightly know if we have that, but we did buy up one of those NASA space shuttles after they discontinued the program. You're free to, assuming you forego any payment on this current endeavor, we'd be willing to do a bit of a trade there. I mean, it's not every day that you get the opportunity to buy a pre-owned space shuttle, so I just kind of jumped at the chance.
Oh no, I'm afraid that's far too small and primitive for our use.
Fair enough there, Gregory, fair enough.
My only stipulation, right, is I just want to know, are your chip packets gonna become like minor bombs in vacuum? Have you thought about this? Have you
That's
thought
a
about
good-
chip packets in
That's a
space?
good
Dickens?
question there. It's a good question there, Yuri. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I'll get our boys
Yeah,
down
get
there in the
R&D on
lab. But to be honest, I don't expect much of an issue. We've done product placement in space before.
Well, all right.
This is on a scale that we're not normally used to, but we're looking to get that superhero angle cornered, especially
Yeah, maybe we could do a bit of
now with
zero-G
your-
work.
now with your anti-government stance. We're really looking to push your angle.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd love to do some TV spots with you all when you get back about that. Maybe we could set up some interviews. We know some people in news circles that also have an anti-government bent that would be interested in talking to you.
Oh, excuse us for 1 second. Greg puts the phone on mute. Anti-government bent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I may have been on a speaking tour down the east coast of the United States, preaching personal autonomy to the exclusion of morality and the empowering of the disempowered, and I mean, you could certainly extrapolate an anti-government message from that.
Ah, okay. I'm sorry, I was busy working. Very good.
Did Amriel? I can't quite remember. I didn't watch all of it. Did at any point you say burn down the state?
I mean, it was more
Cut to footage.
right?
Cut to footage of Abriel screaming, "Destroy the state house!"
It may have come up.
Burn it down!
Not in those
Burn it all
exact
down!
words.
Yeah.
Not in those exact words.
Let them all burn in hell. Cut back.
You know, I may have implied something to that effect.
Yeah, right.
Look, I mentioned burning and the state was present, but, you know, the government was there, nearby.
Look, I meant literally, okay? Because I had just gotten to a bunch of flame power boost patches, and there were some cops after us.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like though, just to be clear, I feel like literally burning the state down still kind of counts as anti-government.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's totally true. Point conceded.
Well, that sounds good. Maybe we should smash the patriarchy next.
He's still on hold.
Oh, Dickens.
Yes,
I
am I
take it.
talking to Yuri again?
Yep.
Fantastic. So, what do you gentlemen say? You on board for this plan?
Well, one of us happens to be a lady, and
And one of us happens to be a non-gendered cloud.
And one of us
Hey,
happens
look,
to be
don't-
dead.
Don't y'all worry about that. I respect you like a man anyway.
We all
Well,
look at each other. Tell you what, Dickens. We'll get back to you. And Yuri hangs up.
Oh dang.
keep it on the back burner.
Yeah, you know what? We gotta be picky about where we're putting our money. And something tells me Dickens likes the anti-government stance, but isn't necessarily for the cause.
It seems like you are playing what the humans call hard to get.
Mm-hmm.
Briscoes are really popular with the Texas sedition movement. But a specific branch of the Texas sedition movement. The anarchist Texas sedition movement. That want a Texas free of all government, not just the US government. You know, they're like the Appalachian communists.
Yeah, good. We Googled this after the call.
Yeah. I mean, out of character, Alex says fuck no. In character, Greg doesn't really give a shit.
What,
Greg
you don't
Black
want to
government.
you don't want to support Texan seditionist anarchists?
I
don't know, Greg.
You're not
be
a
fair.
fan of that?
Texas's GDP is almost as large as New York's, so I feel like we kind of need them in the country. But on the other hand, some things would just be so much easier.
To Greg,
No.
does a government begin to look more like a gestalt than a once you start zooming out on human population organization?
Oh God, no! It's so inefficient and clawing at itself. Sometimes
Right.
when Gestalt
So
clouds
much
get
debate.
sick, they can tear themselves apart. Your governments seem to look like a cloud that is suffering from dispersal syndrome.
A rabid,
God.
cancerous gestalt.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Faulty neurons everywhere.
I mean, I suppose ideally it could resemble a well-functioning cloud, but I have not seen evidence of that here.
Well, that's fair. He doesn't have any air reclamation for us.
No. Well, I mean, the
So-
ship has one, and I've been working on it. I just thought it would be easier if he had one.
Yeah.
Just
That's
install
what I mean. We don't get anything other than cash out of this. And to be honest, I'm not even. I was under the impression that, Greg, you weren't even aware what your salary was.
I did not realize we had a salary.
Yeah, you got a bank account, Greg.
Greg checks his account and there's like $3 million just sitting there.
Ooh.
And Greg's like, that's a lot of matter I could turn into other things.
Can I get that in pennies? That would be the most efficient.
I don't think there are 3 million pennies in existence. Little.
That's
It would
like
be
$3 million
$300
worth.
There's 300 million.
Oh
pennies.
yeah, it would be 300 million pennies.
Well, now I have to Google how many pennies are in circulation.
How many US pennies are in circulation? Brilliant. So, is there anything else we need to do in this little setup-y thing? You've got your keys to the alien ships. You know there's
Oh.
going to be a debris field. You don't yet know what the inhabitants of the base are or what the defenses of the base are, but you know there's going to be electronic doors.
I think maybe we should, if we're going to do it, spend any of our points on refresh on whatever we're going to try and. If we need to acquire some spacesuits,
Yeah, spacesuits
Giant-
could be good.
Yeah.
gotta
Also,
come up.
maybe weapons for the ship.
You don't have any of those. Those
If
are things.
you guys think that would be worth it.
I mean, probably. I did speak to a demon who saw a war fleet in our future.
Okay. So I'm gonna make a note of the stuff that my spaceship has.
Mhm.
Uh,
Rec room.
no, of course, yeah.
A workshop.
Spaceship has rec room. Well, I'm a workshop, but I will write down workshop for everyone else.
Yeah, but everyone else can't use you.
Angel Heart Drive. Can I get some? Can we get some railgun cannons?
Do you want railgun cannons?
I want everything.
You can have railgun cannons.
Basically, I'm going to give you a list, and you tell me how much it costs.
Right.
Alex is just going to give Ray a list and you'll make it happen.
Yeah. Do this.
I'll be like, sure, go stat it up for me. Go stat up that vehicle.
Oh, fuck. I don't know how that works.
Right. Finn does.
What am I studying?
Our spaceship,
The spaceship.
apparently.
Just making a piece of equipment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just making a piece of equipment.
So if you make a piece of equipment, you can just buy it with refresh, and then give it some aspects.
yeah.
It's frankly what I'd recommend. Just give it maybe
Okay,
two
yeah,
aspects and give it deadly. Count as a weapon.
Okay, so I spend a refresh. I can do that, and it gets how many aspects?
You get 3 things on the equipment, so you can get you can buy 3 aspects.
Oh, there's an
Or-
equipment list, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
there's
page
a thing for how to
149.
make a piece of equipment, and it talks about like what it is.
All right, I will do that.
It's considerably less involved than
It's
making
the
a superpower.
it's the easiest bit. I would rather make a very boring person and a bunch of superpowered companions.
I'm not going to bore everyone. I'll do that right now. I'm not going to make everyone listen to me read a book.
Yep.
Yep, cool, sweet. So yeah, you'll probably want like an aspect for the weapons and things like that.
Yeah.
And Ryan will need to finalize his armor shit, but it doesn't sound like there's much else you want to do. You don't
Well,
know,
I
so
think
basically,
I'm gonna-
so basically, your surprises are going to be, unless you do something now, your surprises are going to be, what are the defenses?
Yeah.
And what are the inhabitants? And you don't know what the history of the base is, other
Well,
than
here's the thing, though.
some
'Cause you
kind
said
of-
we could go. So Greg was hoping to have the spaceship ready to go a few days before the race.
All right, so we'll have
Go and
sure.
scout
We'll
it out.
do that as the beginning of the next run then.
That's basically why I stopped researching, because I figured if we get the ship down, then it'll be a lot easier to figure things out
Yeah.
if we go there.
All right, sure. We'll just start next run with you guys doing a fucking flight test, and hopefully my hangouts will be working properly by then.
hmm I'm probably gonna spend a couple of refresh on the Datsun.
Yeah.
Doing.
Yeah.
I might talk to you. I'll talk to you in chat about it because there's some things I feel like I might want to do for it for the last session.
Yeah. All right. Cool. But that's it for this run. So I don't know. There was some cool stuff in there.
Yeah.
We got over the technical glitch.
Yup.
Cool. Everybody enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Should have done more shit with negotiating contracts because that was pretty fun.
Sorry, I had to pop out there for a while.
That's fine. I feel like I want to do another superhero game that's all about like superheroes as famous people, where it's all about like negotiating business contracts and like doing and negotiating appearances with villains. You're like, hey man, you got any heists or schemes planned for this month? It's like, I was thinking of robbing the Federal Reserve because I'm really on this like classic supervillain bent at the moment. It's like, oh, brilliant! I'd love to foil you if that's possible. Like, yeah, I'm not really looking for a foiling right now. Maybe a false foil where it looks like you defeat me, but I actually accomplish my goals anyway. It's like, sure, your people contact my people. We'll hash out the details.
That sounds like a high-level Better Angels game.
I was thinking better. I was instantly thought Better Angels.
All right, cool. Don't forget to share this podcast with everyone that you would share podcasts with. Let people know about Insert Quest here because that's the main way that we grow as a podcast. And if you're feeling particularly generous, please check out our Patreon and consider donating money to us to help us make more podcasts. You can find us across all the social media. And farewell from the past. I'm Raymond. Quick, Ryan, hit